This program was brought to you by PennyMac TPO. Visit tpo.pennymac.com to learn more about becoming a partner and starting your journey to greatness. With the people, products, and technology to take you there, it's why they say, at PennyMac, greatness lives here.
Welcome to The Interest. I'm Mike Savino. With home prices leveling off, we've been wondering if we've shifted from a seller's market to a buyer's market. Well, it seems like we may have finally crossed that line, at least if you're looking at housing prices. Black Knight says that home prices fell 0.77% in June. That's the biggest single-month drop since July of 2011. And on a seasonally adjusted basis, Black Knight says it ranks among the 10 biggest single-month drops over the last 30 years. Now, on an annual basis, home prices are still up 14.3%, but of course that's driven by gains late last year and into this year. An executive with Black Knight said that such strong annual growth can hide underlying weakness. Month-over-month data gives us a much clearer picture of just how much and how quickly the housing market has shifted. But home prices aren't moderating evenly across the country. In fact, some markets saw appreciation peak last year, while others only recently saw prices pick up. According to First American, metros like Sacramento and San Francisco have seen home appreciation slowing for a while. Meanwhile, states like Florida, South Carolina, Georgia, North Carolina, and Arizona saw record appreciation continue into this past June. An economist for First American says that there remains a structural and long-term national supply shortage in the housing market. But in some cities, the pullback in demand is strong and inventory is rising faster, resulting in a greater moderation of house price growth. So if things are unstable right now, what can we expect for the next 6 to 12 months in the mortgage industry? We talked to David Luna at Originator Connect to see what he thinks.
So the future absolutely looks really, really good.
The mortgage industry can seem scary right now, especially for newcomers. Home sales are dropping as buyers deal with ongoing inflation. But David Luna had a rosier outlook while giving his industry forecast at Originator Connect.
Well, over the next 6 months to a year, it's actually going to be pretty positive.
During an interview for The Principal, Luna acknowledged that the next few months might be rocky, and he agrees we're headed for a recession, but he says that will bring mortgage rates down.
In my opinion, I think we're going to be in the fours by the end of the year. It won't be third quarter. I would be happy to be wrong, but I think it's going to be a little closer to the end of the fourth quarter and definitely 2023 because we will be in a recession at that time.
He also thinks that the recession will be relatively short and mild.
Even though we're headed for a recession, do you still think home sales will remain strong, that the housing market?
Absolutely. Again, there's just pent-up demand.
One reason for his optimism, Luna says a lot of buyers are still looking, and he thinks millennials will especially look to buy as rent prices continue to soar.
In other words, they're looking at their budget saying, well, what am I paying in rent? And you're telling me that this is my mortgage payment and that payment is not going to increase like my rent?
He also says a bump in inventory will help normalize prices. Luna thinks it's good that buyers are backing out of deals because it shows that the market is coming back to normal.
Why is it a good thing that we're sort of seeing such a dramatic shift that 63,000 purchases are being canceled in a month?
The dramatic shift is there's now greater inventory. So as we're seeing, just even a few months ago, there was limited inventory, 2, maybe 3 months. Now we're seeing more than 9 months worth of inventory.
While Luna thinks the mortgage market will remain strong, he says originators will need to put in work, especially when working with millennials buying their first home.
Industry that can provide those pieces of information will have a more educated buyer, and that buyer will move through the process quicker and feel, my goodness, this was a wonderful experience.
To hear more of Luna's advice, check out The Principal, the Mortgage News Network's daily podcast. For the Mortgage News Network, I'm Mike Savino.
We'll be right back after a word from our sponsor.
This program was brought to you by PennyMac TPO. Visit tpo.pennymac.com to learn more about becoming a partner and starting your journey to greatness.
For more on these and all of today's top stories, go to mortgagenewsnetwork.com.